Do this right now. Oh, here comes a cop. I usually do 3 videos a day. He's right behind me. I guess you'll see him. I'm at the Jack in the Box because my friends, they usually hang out, they tell me, at the slab. That's the slab over there. It's just a concrete thing behind the old Walmart. And Big Charlie just left. And George and Claire and Diane, they just went into Jack in the Box. And I was going to let them talk a little bit. Oh, and then Bobby Johnson just came by. Why aren't you guys at the park? Saturday, I got a text, and I didn't discuss it, but being it's the third one, I'll talk. Saturday, I got a text from Crow, and then a call from Claire and Crow, and it was like maybe something was up. And I was at my daughter's house, just sitting outside by my daughter's house in town. So I called Crow, and he was kind of, they report stuff to me, and I know they got like things going on. But he was upset because, and it was just verified by Bobby. It's not a real bad thing, but the cops had come up. There's a few spots I like to sit at the park. One used to be under the trees. But then they ran everybody off, and I understand it's because they leave a mess. And look, I was with George the other day, and Jammer, Caveman, sitting in front of Bell's here, and I was uncomfortable because George, he was like every girl. Indiana, Caveman, and then George showed up. George was kind of drunk, and it makes me uncomfortable when they ask people, even if they ask him, you got some spare change? And I told George, I said, oh, George, I'm not going to stay. He said, oh, I won't ask no more, because I don't like that the guys do that. And I understand people complain. But the incident that Crow called me on, he said that the cops had come up to them. There's a spot we call the Rocks. That's where I used to meet Crow and Claire. Okay. And they came up to them at the Rocks after they left what we call the pavilion, where Brother Dave feeds. And he fed that day on Saturday. So they said to Crow, and it was just verified by Bobby. I waited really till I heard it again. But they said to Crow, you can leave. And Crow says, I know I can leave, but it's a public park. And then the one officer, I wouldn't even give the name, but he said, the one cop told him, you're not under arrest, but you can leave. And he said that he didn't want to leave. And then he told me the cop made Crow get into the back seat of the cop car. Now look, Bobby just told me that they put him in the cop car. All right? Shannon Case. And then they drove him down to Fun Trackers, which is about a few miles from the park, and dropped him off. Now Crow, when he was telling me this, he said, John, Crow doesn't carry a gun. But he said, John, they didn't handcuff me or anything. He said, and sometimes the guys carry regular pocket knives and things like that, and Crow carries things like that. He said, and they just put me in the back seat. I wasn't being arrested, but they wanted to transport me. Look, that was a problem there, okay? Because you've had cases. The case in the tragic shooting of the officer at Texas Tech was that he didn't frisk that kid, okay? He arrested a kid, but supposedly never frisked him for a gun. All right, so there was some wrongdoing in this. And I wanted to mention it because Bobby just told me the same thing. You don't... Supposedly, Crow said, I know I can leave the park. That's what they said to him. You can leave the park, And he said, but I'm legal, and I'm not drinking or doing anything, which he doesn't drink, Crow. But yet Bobby said they put him in the cop car. All right, there's a problem with homelessness in the street, problem with things. But the reason why I usually go to the park is because it's a public park. It's the place where you can sit. And right when I pulled up, there were just 2 cops sitting right at McDonald's parking lot. I thought maybe they were eating. No, they were just in the cop cars. Because I was here for about 25 minutes. They didn't come out. They just left. Maybe they're seeing, looking. People, even including myself, I took my ride into town. But I always, I have people Cop turned the lights on the other day, just when I passed him way on 37. No other reason he had those lights on. That's why I'm at Jack in the Box. George and Claire, I might have them both say hi to you. I'll walk in like this, and then I'll have them say hi. But Bobby Johnson, who left, he said, John, we're going to the park. It's like you're in a prison state because of the way, and I feel it more because I'm with my friends-in-law. All right, I'm on the phone. Oh, I'm on the phone.
Yeah, right.
Doing a video.
Uh-oh.
I figured I'd do an update. I wanted Claire to say hi. Oh, and Crow,
Hello, everybody.
George, and Diane.
Hi.
By the way, I forgot to give the update. I just remembered. Each time I told people this before, but when I used to go into Stripes down the corner, I remember Ken, who was like the manager of Stripes, he used to ask me, do you know Shannon, do you know Crow? I said, yeah. Well, tell him I'm come in for a job and all. And Crow was in the process. I didn't update it until just now, but he was in the process of applying for that job. And I gave him Crow's new number. One day I went in, he said, I called the number and it's disconnected. And I had Crow's new number. So because of all the connections, Crow, where is he right now?
He's at work.
He got the job at the Stripes down the corner.
Right.
So, all right, and I just wanted you to see Claire. Any update, Claire? Anything special going on?
Crow can't figure out how I'm going to spend my time. Now, he's at work, but I'm going to do the same thing I do every day is try to take over Florida Bluff.
Yes.
This is nothing new for me to be away from him because I do my stuff and he does his, and we meet in the middle.
Now, Bobby just told me, Bobby Johnson, I don't even know if you've seen him. He was walking by and
I seen him at Timmons, but he didn't see me.
He said he's going to the park because Albert's over there, but I heard there was a little, like, they gave Crow a ride or something. The cops took him to fun trackers.
Oh, all because Crow got mad because they were making me clean up trash that wasn't mine again. And it pisses Crow off.
And they just dropped him off at fun trackers.
Right. They told him, they said, you can leave the park. And he said, well, yeah, I know that, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
And so they put him in the cop car and dropped him off at fun trackers.
Yes, that's what I was telling. Bobby mentioned it, so I brought up. All right, George, I just wanted everybody to see how you guys are doing. George says he's doing good.
We're all just fine.
And why do you sometimes have to go to the slab? I was looking for them. We call that the slab. Why do you go to the slab? Why don't
We sleep there.
Okay, but why don't you go to the public park, which is much more...
Are you going to give us a ride?
I talked about... All right, that's it. That's an update. I